sir.
Welcome back to Gappleton. Today, as you can see, the shop is much cleaner than before. And in the spirit of the spring cleaning and consolidating and getting things in order, I have taken it upon myself to consolidate all of my welders and welding tools. So fabrication is a big part of what I do, and part of that involves lots of stuff for welding. So I have my TIG welder, I have a water cooler for my TIG welder, I have one really big gas bottle for argon, I have 2 different MIG machines and then a tank for that. So plus a spool gun and lots of other tools and grinders and accessories and clothing and PPE and all that stuff associated with welding. So, and it's kind of scattered all over the place. There's a TIG welder over there. There's my 2 MIG machines on this cart here with that tank. Stuff is all over the place. So I want to get it all in one spot. So I had this idea to build kind of like the ultimate fab cart. Something that's going to house essentially 4 slots. So 2 MIG welders, the chiller, and then the TIG welder. So 4 machines, all going to fit on the cart, plus the 2 tanks, plus tool storage. So here's what that might look like. So this will be kind of the rough idea. There's going to be big tank, little tank. It's going to be long. There's going to be a toolbox here. And then there's going to be a higher shelf and a lower shelf. And there's going to be casters on all 4 corners. This will be a machine, this will be a machine, this will be a machine, this will be a machine. And then a worktop here and a little handle to wheel the whole thing around. So this was the toolbox. You kind of get the idea. So tanks, tools, 4 slots, top, handle, and everything in one nice happy spot. And I thought about building my own cabinet, like tool storage kind of thing, like drawers and all that, and doors and shelves and all that. Like, well, why am I going to waste all my time when I could get something that already is going to achieve the same effect? So I kind of looked at like my needs of how much storage I really needed and the space available, and a side cabinet I think is going to fit the bill perfectly. Size-wise, it's about 35.5 inches tall, roughly. I think my machine height double stacked was like 37. So it's gonna work out really nice, I think. So the other piece of the puzzle, a good buddy recently moved and unfortunately gifted me a lot of material. Sad that he moved, but I guess good that I have some stuff to work with. A little bit of cleanup with the prep tool should be fine. So this is gonna be largely what I build the frame of it out of. And then obviously it's gonna be on casters, and I'll have to fill in the shelving with some sheet goods. Just whatever I have. I got a bunch of stuff in the corner. So yeah, I'm gonna start laying it out now, kind of seeing how the material is gonna fall. I don't have a perfect plan for how I wanna do this because I have like specific material I wanna use that I'm kind of locked into, and then the cabinet, and then the tanks. There's a few constants, but it's kind of gonna just be winging it. I'm also excited to try out my new cold cut saw here, new to me, my cold cut saw. I haven't used it yet. It's been sitting here on the stand. I got cutting fluid for it. The blade seems sharp, so gonna give that a whirl, see how she does. It'd be really nice not to have to use abrasives because they make a lot of dust and smoke and debris and all that, whereas this is just gonna make chips to clean up. So no heat, no nonsense. Won't have to wear a respirator or anything using it, so that'll be nice. Hopefully it works like I think it's going to. So I'm gonna probably set up a little bit of a time lapse here and then just kind of get into it. Well, this is sad. Right out of the box, this thing's already broken. All the little locking tabs. Let's see. All these little locking tabs for the box. These are all snapped. They're supposed to be nice and tight in there like that. Broken, 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 broken. The bottom one's good. The bottom one works. It's locked right now. I just did the lock, but yeah, that's a big bummer. So I already get to go exchange this thing. Ugh. I suppose we will pick this up in a little while. Just spoke with my local store manager. They are going to give this box to me at a discount. So I think it's something I can live with. They didn't have another one on the shelf. I probably would have opted to just get a new one, but I don't know. I want to just do this. So I'm gonna get this box at a discount. The drawers will work. I just have to I just won't be able to utilize the little locking catch thing where you gotta slide your fingers in the drawer. It is what it is. It'll be all right. So I think I got this pretty well figured. This slot here will be the spot where the tanks are gonna go vertically. This opening here will be where the box sits. It's not gonna rest on the bottom. It's not gonna sit on the bottom. It's actually going to sit on the upper lip, that little curl over lip, the same way it would hang on the box. That's how it's going to mount into this cart. It's gonna ride on this rail here and this rail here, which is gonna be turned up on edge. The reason being is the combined height. I want the top to be flat across, so I need to bring the box up to match what I can do, or what I have to do to stack the welders, because the TIG welder is tall. It needs 22 inches, I believe, and then the MIG welders are shorter, but the combined height brings it up taller than the 35 inches of the box. So I'm just gonna cheat everything upwards and suspend the box in the cart to make the top flat all the way across. So I don't have like a goofy step in the box, or the top, I should say. And I had these two pieces of rectangular tubing. They're 4-footers. Those are gonna work out perfect to kind of serve as like the load-bearing rails, or the frame. You can almost think like a truck. That's like the frame rails of the whole deal. So those are gonna be the long pieces that are gonna eat up this width, front and back. Well, this is probably one of the coolest freaking tools I've bought in a while. This thing is sweet. It's dead quiet. It cut like an absolute dream, quickly, quietly. It's got onboard coolant. This thing is killer. The saw is still amazing, but well, you can't really see it. It leaves a bit of a slippery mess, so traction is gonna be a problem. This kind of shows it a little better. The coolant system is really cool because it keeps the blade cool and helps with cut quality and stuff, but it makes a slippery mess. This is a polished floor, and it doesn't like moisture with my flat-bottomed shoes. All right, today's tomorrow. We've made a little bit of progress. I kind of jumped ahead. Had to go grab a couple more sticks of material. So I'm test fitting the machines, and holy cow, there is about zero room for error. I have to, so on these top ones, I got to snake this machine in first from the toolbox side, and then snake in the cooler. And then obviously the TIG welder is like the main, that's the tallest one, so I set my height off of that. And then this last welder, this other MIG, that should fit in through the side. Like that one won't be a problem. But boy, these other two are really snug. I still have to weld in the supports for the middle shelf. I think I'm going to just put tabs in the corners for that shelf to ride on, similar to like how your shelves in your kitchen cabinets would be mounted. Just little triangles that fit in the angle, like in the four corners there for the shelf to rest on. I was gonna do like angle iron cross pieces, but space is so limited and it's already causing problems having that reduced headroom like on the rail up here, that I think I'm going to just do those tiny little tabs, and then I'll probably swap out this OSB. That's probably going to be 1/4 inch steel, or maybe even, I don't know, maybe 3/16, something thinner to kind of just give a little bit more room, because boy, she is tight. So there's not too much left on this. Casters show up today. I got to do the tabs for the shelves. Test fit the toolbox, which should fit. I gave a little bit of wiggle room, and then I have to make the little scooped out pieces that the tanks are going to rest into on that side rack, and then so the chains or straps, whatever I do, can hold the tanks in. But it's very close. We're moving pretty quick on this. I'll give an update here in a second. All right, next update. Today's tomorrow because I have kids. The welding is pretty much done. There's only one thing left to do, and that is the 4 little pads for the caster wheels. They're just little rectangles with holes, and they get welded to the bottom so I can bolt on the casters, which are over there. So I have the tank hold downs done, which are pretty cool. They're just angle iron. They're not straight because I actually fit them to the bottle. That's the way they wanted to lie. I noticed after the fact, and then I put the bottle back in. I'm like, oh, that's what fits tight. So tank holders are in. I have to add little D-rings because they're gonna get straps around them, or I might just do chains. I'm not sure yet, but tank holders are in. I did all of these hooks, which are still hot. So I have hooks on the front. The front ones are going to be for hanging like your whip for your gun and your torch and your foot pedal and all that kind of stuff. And then I added 2 around the side for doing like power cords. So when this thing's not in use, you can coil up your plug and put it in. And then also added a push handle, this guy here. I was gonna bend up something on my bender, like do a nice like bent handle, but for the price of a stick of round stock, I'm like, I have this piece of scrap that cost me nothing. I don't want to break into a full stick. I'll just make it a little bit ugly and save some money. I mean, it's mine, so I don't really care. But yeah, adding the pads for the casters is the last thing to weld, and then prep it and paint it. And for the last time, well, not the last time, today's tomorrow because I have kids. Last update. I should say last update before it gets painted. So welding is completely done. I have all of the pads done on the 4 corners. They are threaded from underneath so that the casters over there are going to be bolt on. I've test fitted the box in the slot. It fits perfectly. Got the tank holders on. I just have to bolt on D-rings because I'm going to do a ratchet strap around these because I want them real nice and tight. Being that this is going to move around, I don't want anything falling off. So yeah, blast it, paint it, add straps for the tanks, put the shelves back in, which are just OSB for now, but I might use plywood instead. That's a little bit thinner to make things fit nicer. And she should be good. Ta-da! It's done. Or good enough to call it done for the moment. There isn't really, I think there's really loose ends. I might put a piece of wood underneath the tanks there, but give you the little walk arounds, give you the tour. So we got TIG machine, MIG welder, chiller, toolbox suspended between the rails, both tanks with their tie downs. I have D-rings bolted into there. Here's the back. So a little busy back here. I got 2 hooks to house all the power cords and stuff like that. I got at least 2 of these. I think I have more somewhere, but these right angles for the gas fittings so that these don't make such hard things coming straight out and then getting kinked. So 90s for my gas fittings. Yeah. The only issue I see is changing spools on the MIG welder, and the machine spot, the spot for the welding machines, that ended up tighter than I meant it to be. Everything still fits. As you see, it's all in there. Everything's gonna be fine, but it can only really go in one way. Originally, I wanted that chiller over on that side and vice versa, so I could open the door on the welder to change the spool. Didn't work out that way. You can't get it over to that side because the power cord comes here and then it hits on the back rail back there. So this is how they got to be. Yeah, I have not started populating the toolboxes at all. I got plenty of junk to go in it. I'm sure I'll run out of space instantly, but it's all going to be in one spot. So very excited about this. This is going to be a huge help when it comes to doing fab projects. Everything's going to be in one spot. No scavenger hunt every time you want to do some little project. So very excited with our creation here. This has been in my brain for a long time. So super excited that it's kind of, I don't know. I was in a cleaning mood, and then sometimes you have to, I don't know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. No, something like that. Anyway, made a mess, broke some eggs to make a thing that I've wanted for a while. So yeah, it's funny. The buddy that gave me the bulk of this material to build this with, I actually gave him my old welding cart. So it's kind of a trade. He helped me build my big one, and he gets one for his, he's only got 1 machine. So it kind of works out. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this maybe gives you some ideas for doing one of your own. If you do, make the spot for the machines a little bigger. Thanks for watching. We'll see ya.